ranking every single LEGO Jedi Starfighter. And by the way, this is Starfighters only. I'm gonna do a separate list for the Interceptors. At last place, I have the UCS Obi-Wan Starfighter, and I just don't understand why you would want one this big in your collection. Then I have the 2002 version of Obi-Wan Starfighter, and it's a good set for the time, but obviously it's very outdated, so I'm putting it this low. Next is Yoda's Jedi Starfighter, which isn't a bad build, but I've just never been too big of a fan of this design for a Starfighter. And I didn't actually know whether or not to include it on the list because it isn't really the same kind of Starfighter as the others, but it's still labeled as Yoda's Jedi Starfighter, so I thought I'd throw it on here. And just above it is the 2023 version of the ship, which is a little bit better, but obviously not that much different. Next up, I have the 2008 Anakin Jedi Starfighter, and what this one does different than the 2002 Obi-Wan one is that the side parts, which I guess are like the wings of the Starfighter, are actually slanted down now. Then I have Sacy 10 Starfighter, which obviously is a big jump in detail, but I'm not a big fan of how the astromech droid like kind of section near the cockpit looks, and I feel like it's just a bit chunky and ruins like the profile of the ship, and it just doesn't look as streamlined or aerodynamic like it's supposed to. And the same thing with Anakin's here from 2018, but I do like it a little bit better just because that yellow color is so cool. The Mace Windu Starfighter though, you can see actually has it fixed where the astromech droid section doesn't look as chunky and he fits in there really well, and the whole ship is just a lot more proportionate overall. And that carries over with the Ahsoka one here, which I just think is a slightly better color scheme than the Mace Windu one. But what I think is even a better color scheme is this Plo Koon one, which is blue and white, which I know isn't accurate to the movies, where his Starfighter is actually dark blue and white, but it does look really good here. But if you notice at the back of the ship, they're actually still using this big panel piece for the back of the Starfighter, like the back fin, which just doesn't look the best. But the Obi-Wan version from 2017 actually fixes that, and it has this giant Jedi Starfighter hyperdrive ring, which just looks super sick and obviously is a really cool add-on to have here. But I will say the Starfighter here isn't the best, and it has the same problem as that Sacy 10 one and the 2018 Anakin one, where the astromech section's a little chunky, which is why I think that the Obi-Wan Starfighter from 2022 is a bit better. I know that it still does have these slight gaps between the wings and the body of the ship, but that doesn't really bother me too much personally. At the number 2 spot, I have Anakin's Jedi Starfighter, the modified version from the 2003 animated Clone Wars, which I personally think the animated Clone Wars from 2003 is a little overrated, which I know is a hot take, but anyway, taking that aside, I think that this ship does look really good and it's one of the best parts of that show. But at the number 1 spot, I have Jedi Bob Starfighter, which I think is the best design out of all of them. And I also like how it has those thrusters at the front that carry over kind of the design language from Anakin's modified Starfighter. And red is my favorite color, and so the red and white here just looks super sick. But let me know what y'all would put as your number 1 in the comments below.